Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CVP and Knowledge's Pigskin Picks. If you want to know anything about college football for the next hour or so, we're going to tell you all about it. We're going to talk about last week's games. We're going to talk about the upcoming games this week. Last week, not really such a good week in college football. I mean, it will do. This week is going to be a great week, and we're going to tell you all about it. As always, I'm Jody Colley with my partner in crime here.
I'm Brad Thomas, and my shirt's really popping off the screen today. I got my Auburn orange Under Armour shirt. Kind of look like a big highlighter, but I'll take it.
Well, my crimson shirt's standing out pretty good too, even after a lackluster performance last week that we had. Hey, it's still a win. Still a big W on it, even though they look bad. Hopefully they'll get that game out of their system, move on, and keep on rolling. All right, welcome back. A couple of more. I'm going to tell you the point spreads on some of these games and tell you how I would pick them. Michigan plus 1.5 against Notre Dame. I think Michigan's, like I said, Notre Dame is horrible. So I would take Michigan plus 1.5, even though it's in South Bend. UCLA plus 9 at Brigham Young. I love UCLA plus 9. Brigham Young may beat them, but I think only by a touchdown. UCLA plus 9 all day long. Georgia Tech plus 7 against Virginia Tech. Don't want the points, don't need the points. Georgia Tech probably beat them outright, but Georgia Tech plus 7. Southern Cal hosting Ohio State. Like Brad said earlier, it's been a long time since 2001 since USC has lost at home to in a non-conference game. Ohio State's getting 10.5. That's a little too much, but I really think Southern Cal's going to beat them by about 14. So I would go Southern Cal minus the 10.5. And the last one, Kansas at South Florida. Kansas is getting 3.5 points. Don't understand that, because really South Florida had to, they had to struggle a little bit to beat Central Florida last week. So Kansas plus 3.5, I'd take Kansas plus 3.5 all day long. Some other interesting matchups: North Carolina at Rutgers, the Thursday night game. You're going to see a matchup of former comrades. Rutgers coach Greg Schiano was Butch Davis's defensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken, at Miami. So they'll be playing together for the first time. So that'll be a real interesting game. Butch Davis trying to right the ship there with the Tar Heels. Rutgers, they lost the first week against Fresno State. So we'll just have to see how that one works. North Carolina State, Clemson, that's coming up. That'll be a stinker. Clemson will be out for revenge, probably. Well, let's see. What else we got? Washington State at Baylor. UAB at Tennessee. Is there any chance UAB can beat the hated Volunteers?
Oh, there's always a chance when you have a Lynette Panther that's on the team.
There you go.
Of course.
There you go. And if I'm not mistaken, UAB, it's been a couple of years ago, almost beat them.
Yeah, who did they beat that one year? Was it LSU? It wasn't LSU, was it?
Or was Saban's first year, UAB beat
right.
LSU, and it might have been that same year. I don't think so, but I know one year they came close to beating Tennessee.
They'll do it.
That would be sweet.
He's out of here.
Western Kentucky at Alabama. Western Kentucky is getting 27.5 points. That's way, like I said last week, I said 20. It was 29.5, and I said, whew, I don't think Alabama covered. I hope they cover 27, but I just don't see it happening. Well, let's see. Virginia and UConn. UConn has given up 12.5 points. Virginia looked terrible. They were terrible against USC. So here's another good one. Oklahoma at Washington. Remember me talking about the last time Oklahoma, Bob Stoops' team, went to a Pac-10 with Pac-10 officials? What happened? Now, Washington won't have a chance. They're 20-point underdogs, but, stranger things have happened. And Wisconsin at Fresno State. That's going to be a good game. Mm-hmm. And Wisconsin traveling to Fresno State. Fresno State, I think their seating capacity is only like 40,000, 45,000 there. So Wisconsin, that's going to be something they're not used to. They're used to playing, you know, at the big house and, you know, in their own at Badger Stadium. You know, that's going to be something, you know, to see a stadium that's about the size of one of their concession stands in the Big Ten. So that's going to be interesting. Fresno State is getting a 1.5 there. You know, I picked the upset against Rutgers. I'm not going to go that far this time. I think Wisconsin is a lot better team. So, I mean, that could be interesting. All right, before we open our phone lines up for the picks, we got some helmet stickers we're going to give out. We don't have any stickers, so we're just going to pat the helmet there. My first helmet sticker would go to Georgia Tech coach Paul Johnson. Not only did he win his first ACC game, but he did it on the road against one of the better defenses in the conference. Johnson became the first coach in school history to win his conference opener. Also, I got another one for California running back Javid Best. Some running backs never get an 80-yard touchdown run in their entire career. Best had TD runs of 80 and 86 in the Golden Bears' 66-3 whipping of Washington State. Best finished with 200 yards on 14 carries and 3 TDs, and he is now on the cusp of being mentioned for the Heisman Trophy. And the last one, I got to be a homer on this one. Got to give a helmet sticker to Alabama special teams. Without the kicking game, Alabama would have been in real trouble. The Crimson Tide scored their first 2 touchdowns on special teams, an 87-yard punt return by Javier Arenas and a blocked punt, and a 13-yard return for a touchdown by Chris Rogers. Arenas' return was as pretty as you'll ever see, and it was. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. He broke at least 4 tackles and then turned on the Jets as Alabama held off Tulane 20-6. An honorable mention here would be Patrick Pinckney, the quarterback for East Carolina. He was something. He completed 78% of his passes for 236 yards and a touchdown. Until next week, we'll see you on CVP Analogies Pigskin Picks.